Okay, we're going to now tie up all the things that we've done in the alphabet, the consonants, the vowels, the shevas, dageshes. We're going to tie it all together now, and we're going to show the transliteration of Jonah 1, verses 2, and the beginning of verse 3. So we're going to end this section of the course, end this section of the alphabet and the vowels, and we're going to then soon launch into the actual grammar and meaning bits of the language. So let's go ahead and transliterate Jonah 2, 1, 2. So this is a Q, this is a sharuk, and this is a mem. So Q, and then I do my the vowels that are piggybacked on consonants, I tend to transliterate this way. So I put up as a superscript kind of the piggyback letter, in this case a vav. You could do a W if you want to call it wow. And then I put a hat over this long vowel that's piggybacking. So this is, I have when I write it, I put a pointy hat or a pointy roof. But this is the way my font did it. So this is kum, arise, Q, sharuk, and then a final mem. So this is an L, a sere, and a kaf. The sere I'm going to transliterate with a macron over it, a long E. And then this kaf does not have a dagesh in it, so I'm going to put a line under it. This is a silent schwa. For whatever reason, final kafs will often have a silent schwa in them. It's just a convention. I'm not sure why, but you don't transliterate a silent schwa. So this is lake, arise, go. Then this is an aleph, and then a segol, and then a lamed, L. There's the makaf, which I'll transliterate as a dash. Then we have a nun. Then we have a hirik yod. So there's that vowel combination of the Y piggybacking a long I on it. And there's my hat because it's that hirik yod situation. Nun. Now, how do I know, now that we've done vocal and silent schwas, how do I know that that's a vocal schwa? Well, it's a vocal schwa because it's at the beginning of a syllable. Well, you might say, well, how do I know it's at the beginning of a syllable? Couldn't have been at the end of neen as a syllable, consonant, vowel, consonant? And here's a secret I don't think I mentioned in the previous video. When the sheva is preceded by a long vowel like this, then it is a vocal schwa. When a sheva is preceded by a short vowel, it's a silent schwa. When the sheva is preceded by a long vowel, it's a vocal schwa, because this long vowel is in an open syllable, which means that this nun is beginning a new syllable. And so this is a vocal schwa, ninna. And then ve. This is the vav, and that's the sere, the long E, and the he. This is also a mother of reading situation. I think I could have elevated the he, but I have not been elevating he's. Maybe, who knows, maybe in the middle of this course, I'll say, I want to start elevating he's. Wait and see. But for now, I'm not elevating the he's as mothers of readings, because I don't remember doing that. But I may be misremembering because I'm old. Okay, next word, hey, H, long A. This is an ayin, so that there's the backwards C for the ayin. Hirik yod, again, I with a hat on it. Yod is the piggyback letter. Final R, ha'ir, the city. All right, next one, hey, patak. This is a doubling dagesh. Gimel is a begad kafat letter, so in theory it could be a hardening dagesh. But how do I know that this is a doubling dagesh? Well, because this short vowel suggests that this is a closed syllable. Hag, consonant, vowel, consonant. And so if there's if the gimel is closing this one, then it must be also beginning a new syllable as well. So hag. So this is a vocal schwa because it comes after the beginning of a consonant of a syllable, and then it's a doubling dagesh, I know, because of that short vowel. The gimel is closing. This syllable is closed. So the first gimel closes the first syllable, and then the second gimel begins the next syllable. Hag. Dalet does not have a dagesh, so I have a line under it. Then we have a holam vav, which this is the way I transliterate it, with a hat long O, and then the Vav is a piggyback letter. Then we have Lamed, and then a Kamatz He, which again, I could elevate it because it's a mother of reading, but I'm not doing that. So Hagadolah, the great, the city, the great. Okay, there's a Sharuk again. So U with a hat on it, and a Vav as a piggyback. Kof is a Q. And then this is a vocal schwa because it's the beginning of a syllable. U is the only syllable that's just a vowel. The only syllable in Hebrew that is not a consonant vowel. It is just a vowel, U. It means and, by the way, but we'll talk about that in a couple lectures. So the shva here is after the first consonant of a syllable, so it must be vocal. So there's Q, shva, resh, kamatz, aleph, a long A, and then the aleph. All right. And call, and then we have an ayin, we have a long A kamatz, we have a lamed, an L, and then we have a segol yod, which is a vowel combination. So the yod is not a vowel. In this kind of situation, the accent is on the aleha. So the second to last syllable gets the accent in this particular case. And then the H, and then the long A kamatz. All right. So, kum lake el Nineveh, ha'ir hagadolah, u kara aleha, and call to her. Okay, next line. K hirik yod, K hirik yod, again, with this mother of reading, I put a hat on it. There's the Y. Dash, ayin, long A, L. Now, is this a vocal or a silent schwa? Because I know this particular verb form, you don't. It'll be a few lessons before we get to it. But because I know this particular verb form, I know that this is a vocal schwa. I would have guessed it was a vocal schwa because most of the time a kamatz is a long A. And so after a long vowel, it would be a vocal schwa. Remember that silent schwas come after a short vowel. And so I would have guessed that this was alata just by the percentages, the averages. But the way I know that this is a vocal schwa is because I know the form. You don't know that yet, probably. So this is a long A, and this is a L, and then a sheva. Theoretically, this could have been a short O, a kamatz katuf, and a silent schwa. Could have been that, in theory. Because a lot of times when you have that short O, it'll be followed by a silent schwa. But again, I know this situation of this verb, and so I know that that's a vocal schwa. And then we have the tav, which doesn't have a dagesh in it, so it has a line under it, and then a kamatz he. Right. All right. That was just the first set of words. Let's keep going. Three kamatz, wherever you are. So we've got kamatz. So we've got resh, R, long A, ayin, long A, tav, long A, mem. Tav doesn't have a dagesh in it, so no line under it. Ra'atam. And then here we have the final word of verse 2, lafanai. So we have the L, we have a vocal schwa because it's under the first consonant. Under a first letter, it's always a vocal schwa. I've transliterated it with a PH because in my fonts I can't find a P with a line over it. So I'm going to make do with what I can. So F, again, another kamatz, a nun, another kamatz, and then a yod. This is not a piggyback yod. This is not a mother reading yod. I'm a real yod. La fanai. Okay? That call upon her that their evil has gone up before me. The Lord has recognized the evil of Nineveh. Next verse, beginning of the next verse. So we have a V, Vav, we have a Patak, so that's an A. Doubled Yod, it's not a Bagad Kafat letter, so that's two Yods for the price of one. Then we have a Kamatz, a long A, we have a Q, we have a Kamatz, and we have a final Mem. Now, Yonah, you know Yonah. Yonah and the whale, right? Or the fish. The dog, the fish. Dog is fish in Hebrew. Not important right now. So we have a Y, we have the Holim Vav. Again, I write the hat on it when it's in that situation, and superscript Vav to let you know it's there. Nun, Kamatz, long A, hey, H, Yonah. Then we have next word, a L. We have a hirik, which is short I, which suggests, because this is a short syllable and a short vowel, this is a silent schwa. This syllable is closed. Live. Silent schwa, short vowel. That's the way it's a consonant vowel consonant situation, unaccented. So live. The bet does not have a dagesh, so put a line under it. Live, don't transliterate a silent schwa. We have the R for resh. We have the holum, which is not a holum vav here, so I'm just going to put a long line mark over it. This is called a furtive patak, because to get from the O to the k, you've got to stick a little A sound in there. Usually it's a little bit to the right. I wasn't able to get it in my printing to the right. Normally it would be a little bit to the right. So livroach, a furtive patak, a hidden patak. All right, now to end, we have tarshisha, tav, a normal A, and then an R. Because this is a short vowel, what kind of a sheva is that? It's a silent schwa. This syllable is closed. Tar. It's a unaccented closed syllable. T-A-R. Tar. We don't transliterate the sheva. And then shisha. You could have transliterated the sheens with a sh. This is a slightly more technical way to do it. Hirik yod. Again, I use a hat with those mother of readings. Elevate the yod as a superscript because it's not serving as a consonant there, but as a piggyback for the vowel. Another sheen, and then a kamatz hey. Could have done the hey elevated, but I'm not at this point. Milifnei. We saw that in my video on dageshes, I think. So lamed is not a Bagad Kafat letter, so that's certainly a doubling dagesh forte. So we have two L's. The short vowel, so we have consonant vowel and then the first lamed, mil. The first lamed ends the first syllable and begins the second one. So then we have a second lamed, second L, hirik, and then PH ends that syllable. Because it's a short vowel, lif, I know that this is what kind of a shva? A silent schwa. This syllable is closed. We don't transliterate it. It's just simply saying this syllable is closed. Mil, lif, nay, and then Sarah yod at the end. I put a hat on it when it's a mother of reading kind of situation. Superscript the yod to say this is not actually a consonant, but there's a vowel here. So milif nay. And so that's how you transliterate that one. And then finally, the name of God, YHVH. I didn't put the vowels because the vowels in the text are the vowels of Adonai, not the vowels of Yahweh. And with that, we have synthesized everything we know about consonants and vowels and dageshes and shevas. And we are now, after a brief video on some key accents, this is an accent I didn't delete there. That's a saluk. That is always often at the final word of a verse will have a saluk accent. Accents are not real important other than they tell you where to pronounce the stress. I'll do a brief video on key accents, and then we'll be off with Jonah 1:4, learning some of the actual grammar of the Hebrew language.